Nothing like rain on a tin roof. Good morning, everybody. Just crossed Connecticut Route 341. And there may be a few Air Force veterans out there that may remember the number 341 from back in the days of basic training. About a mile in that direction right there is Kent, Connecticut. And in the distance, I can still hear the hum of countless generators singing in harmony from a town that still has no power. I believe this is day number 3 after the tropical storm. Had a great night last evening. I actually retreated 0.3 backwards to the Mount Algo Shelter after making an attempt to go into town to grab a shower. Of course, once I arrived, I determined that, town had no power, therefore no shower. And I was even eyeing up a Chinese restaurant, but sadly that didn't happen. I had 4 young section hikers join me in the shelter area last evening. 4 young men, probably in their late teens or just out of high school, out grabbing, out doing a section hike of probably about 50 miles. They had, I'd set up camp behind the shelter, and then they had found more of a group location, probably about 50 yards up in behind the shelter area. And they had everything set up, and then their festivities began. Although you're not supposed to be building any campfires here in the Connecticut area along the trail, the inferno began, which I guess kind of, at least they were picking up debris that had fallen from the storm, so maybe it was a good thing. So their festivities continued until late in the evening, and the one I couldn't help but notice had some type of an instrument case with him, which turned out to be a ukulele. And these fellows began the off-key choir of 4 as they did their best to sing loudly and laughingly until about 11:30. And as I laid there in my tent, I'd actually contemplated going up and demonstrating the scene from the movie Animal House when John Belushi came down the stair steps and grabbed the acoustic guitar and smashed it against the wall in 1,000 pieces. But as I laid there and I was unable to get to sleep from all the noise, kind of thought to myself, here's these 4 young men out on a trail, out, away from everything, all the distractions that today's youngsters are faced with, of course, the internet, social media, the whole 9 yards. And here are these 4 young men out here having the time of their lives, without any regard for anybody around them, or the old guy laying in the tent a few yards away who was contemplating their ukulele's demise. But I thought how awesome it is for these young guys to be out here building great friendships that hopefully will last them a lifetime, and how awesome it was to hear them out there enjoying the great outdoors and the trail. And ironically, last evening probably came full circle for me, as I recalled my first night on the AT at 10 years old, and all the noise that my church group must have made as we quickly occupied 2 shelters that could have been used up by some weary thru hikers, and all the noise that we made well into the evening. So maybe last night was a little payback for my youth, or at least a realization that sometimes I allow the little things to get under my skin. And part of the reason I'm out here is, part of the many reasons I'm out here, is to kind of work through some of that. And I walk away from last evening with a few hours less sleep, but I've managed to find the joy in their experience. Pushing north, everybody. I understand I have one heck of a climb here ahead of me this morning. But I'm doing it on fresh legs, or perhaps a fresh leg and a half with my shin splint. And I'm really hoping this morning some of these shorter days are beginning to pay off. I don't want to speak too soon, but my foot actually feels a little bit better this morning than it has the past several days. So I do want to say thank you to Tracy, Jamie, Melissa from camp. Of course, I want to thank the good Lord upstairs for, you know, hopefully helping with the healing process. So another short day planned for me. We'll see how it goes, and let's get climbing. Mile 1474.2, St. John's Ledges. Okay, everybody, I've been warned by several locals here about the descent coming down off the mountain, down off of St. John's Ledges. So I'm not going to be doing any fancy camera trickery here because I need to, number one, see where I'm going, and number two, hang on with both hands. But this is just a little bit of the intro going down, and I've been cautioned that it's practically straight down. So I'm going to put this camera away and make my descent, and understand I have some river walking coming up for about 5 miles, so that'll be a nice break. As promised, that descent certainly did not disappoint. I definitely had to hang on to the steering wheel with both hands. 3 points of contact coming down off of there. There were still some spots that were wet, but boy, that was certainly exhilarating. Looks like I'm going to be doing some, I'll say, mountain road walking for a little while. Apparently I have a river walk coming up for about 5 or 6 miles according to the locals. This region is going to be without power for up to 2 weeks. I can't imagine being without power for that extended period of time. My heart absolutely goes out to all the residents up through here. And I'm going to start showing less trail damage. I've been sharing that the last couple of videos, and I don't want everybody to get, you know, bored with nothing but trail damage. But I must admit, in my entire life, I've never seen that much trail damage. And you guys are seeing simply the tip of the iceberg. Since Route 22, I've probably seen, and I'm not stretching this at all, probably 50 to 60 large blowdowns, easily trees that diameter or larger down across the trail. And I just can't imagine the amount of work and effort that is going to have to be put in by the trail crews for a couple states. And I wouldn't be surprised that, you know, this work is going to take, if they're able to get, you know, to the trail, you know, they're probably taking care of their homes and everything else right now, and helping their neighbors with their chainsaws, you know, the certified sawyers that come out and cut trees. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these trees remain into 2021. It is just incredibly devastating out here. Stewart Hollow Brook Shelter, mile 1477.1. Silver Hill Campsite, everybody, mile 1480.3. You know, I really got to tell you, Connecticut really has their act together as far as campsites. Here is a pavilion. Actually, it's called a kitchen pavilion with a couple of picnic tables. Right over there is a privy. Out front here is a real nice deck, a real nice wooden swing, a hand pump water source, and on the way into the entrance is a metal bear box for food storage. Well done, Connecticut. I'm telling you, every campsite that I've come across, every shelter area, very well equipped. I just love the signage along the way, all the trail markers. Everything is very, very well maintained and lovingly done. Great job, Connecticut. A view from mile 1482.9. Okay, everybody, calling it a day here at the Caesar Brook Campsite, mile 1483.7. That is going to give me, 13.9 miles for the day. Very, very happy with the mileage today. And I can assure you, considering what I've been dealing with my shin splint, I've really taken my time today. Definitely enjoyed some easy miles there along the Housatonic River. I think I said that correctly. And also had some a few smaller, tougher climbs today here in Connecticut. So definitely enjoying some rocky terrain there as well. The afternoon, there weren't quite as many blowdowns in the area that I was hiking through, but that hum of those generators all day long. Talked to some section hikers that are here. They're actually local. They said several towns in the region do not have power. So I'm hoping they get that back online here real soon. So I'm definitely going to roll my leg out tonight, do lots of stretches. And that's one thing I've been doing all day long, is I've been stopping, resting, elevating my leg, and doing lots of stretching. It seems to be helping a lot. And it's not quite so painful on the downhills. So hopefully I'm on the road to recovery here. I guess time is going to tell. So it's already dark here, having a late supper, and getting my gear set up right now. And that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching Wild on the Trail, everybody. Take care. Good night.